Welcome to Eugene Holden's Academy of Self-Mastery, where transformation meets action. I'm Eugene Holden. I'm one of your guides on this journey of personal growth, mindset shifts, and deep self-awareness. Each episode, we dive into the tools, wisdom, and strategies you need to break through limitations and step into your highest potential. No fluff, no shortcuts here, just real conversations, practical insights, and a community dedicated to mastery in every area of life. So, if you're ready to unlock your power, elevate your mindset, and create a life by design, then let's get started. Welcome to Eugene Holden's Academy of Self-Mastery. Welcome to the deep end.
All right.
So now, what was that you just said?
So that quote, "Be your own guru," relates to self-mastery with a capital S.
Yes.
Right? Because self-mastery is your guru.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go within and consult your inner guru.
Your inner guru, your higher self.
Your higher self.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we get to do.
That's what we get to do.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, everyone, I'm here. This is Eugene Holden's Academy of Self-Mastery. And again, this week or this month, my co-host is the one and only, my beautiful sister, my friend, the Reverend Melissa. Yeah.
Good day, everyone.
And so today we're continuing with this beautiful high vibration of connecting to your yes.
Yes.
Connect to your yes.
Connect to your yes.
Connect to your yes. And that's going back to that self-mastery with that capital S, connecting with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Now, Melissa, I know that, connecting to your yes is important, which is why important to you, which is why you have a shirt.
Why do you say that, Eugene? What makes you say that?
Well, let me see. I remember I think it's because you have this shirt on that says connect to your yes. But in order for you to have that shirt made, you had to all have already started connecting to your yes. So why do you think it's important to connect to your yes? And not just yours, but everybody else. Why it's important to connect to your yes?
I think it's important because for me, yes translates into your purpose. And for me, your purpose translates into the why of us being here. And we already said yes. See, that's the thing. We already said yes. Otherwise, we would not be here.
Just saying.
We would not be here. So we get to say yes again, and we get to rediscover it, reconnect with it, remember it. We get to do that on this journey, as divine beings in human form. We get to do that. So for me, that's what it is. It's about every time I say yes, I'm saying yes to the yes that I said before.
Yeah.
It's just an echo of the original yes.
Yeah. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that original yes is the yes to being here on this plane. Yeah.
Being here on this plane and being a representative of God, of love.
Yeah.
And we get to play with how we express that, how we embody that. We get to play with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that word, we get to play with that. And sometimes, for me, playing with that has taken me down some pretty crazy, not so life affirming paths, right? Saying yes to what the crowd was wanting to do.
Mm,
saying yes because I had not yet connected to my purpose for being here.
yeah.
What I
Yeah.
think is a really how can I put this? A really I'm going to use it like this, but I don't really mean it like this. What I think is a tragic joke is that when we get here, we forget what we said yes to. So we have to remember, if that makes sense, where we have to remember, oh yeah, I'm here because of this. For me, I got here and I forgot who I was, in growing up. Then we get to learn and to remember. I remember hearing years ago that we're not here to learn anything, we're here to remember. And part of that remembering was me saying yes to things that didn't serve me because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be liked, or whatever that story was. Yeah. Uh-oh. Melissa, I think you're frozen. Well, as we continue to go, I know that Melissa will come back, but it is, right? So sometimes we find ourselves, saying yes to things that do not serve us. We say, yes to, hanging out with people with lower vibrations, hanging out with people, or sometimes saying yes to relationships that deep down we might know do not serve our highest good. And so as we continue to say yes to Melissa coming back, sometimes we find ourselves saying yes. I was just speaking about, sometimes we find ourselves saying yes to things that don't serve us, like saying yes to relationships that we know deep down within don't serve us.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. But then as we continue to grow and to expand and we get tired, what's that? Getting sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's something greater that I am to say yes to.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
that, that capital S self. That's that higher self. Yeah.
Yeah. I think about when you say saying yes to things that no longer serve us means that we're still, for me, I'm still connecting to my yes. And that connection of that yes is that inner guru is is counseling me to say no, to say no.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't serve you anymore. If
Yeah.
it if it ever did,
If it ever did.
right?
Right. Well, I guess it does in some way of saying, okay, it serves by saying this is not the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes, I get that quick and sometimes it takes me a minute.
Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly.
Thankfully on this leg of my journey is quicker than
Oh
it
man.
was
Yeah. Yeah. Thank
before.
God for experience.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I see that one coming, you
Yes.
know. So we were talking about, the importance of saying yes. And you had just talked about, you brought this up, right? The importance of saying no,
Mhm.
because that's just
Mhm.
as powerful.
It is. It is. And just like you could say yes, it's interesting when you say yes to something, um, people don't usually want the reason why. They just accept the yes. But when you say no, people want to know why. What's the reason? You get into this position of explaining, right? But with yes, it's just a yes. So our no has to be as strong as our yes.
Right.
It has to be as strong as our yes.
Is that your cat?
It is my cat.
Oh, it is.
It is. He's
What's
trying to get into the kitchen because Zola's in the kitchen. And he's just having a fit, banging himself up against the door. I okay now.
Okay. I was just taking a wild guess, jokingly. Yeah, but you got a big cat though.
No, no, he's not that big. I
Oh,
wish y'all could see this cat right now, but
uh,
let's stay
let's
focused.
just stay focused. The cat's saying, "No, I don't want to be here." Yeah, but but you're right. It's interesting how people want you to explain your no.
Hmm.
And it took me a while, but I learned that I don't have to explain my no.
That's right.
And I'll say it. No, thank you, no, thank you.
Hmm.
Or sometimes if they keep pushing, it's like because I don't want to. Doesn't serve me.
I'm like, it's not for me.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and do it, but that's not for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. So now playing around with with that no, and we've already talked about this. I was about to say you're going to love this question, and you really do, because I do. Why do we sometimes say no to our yes? Because sometimes I say no to my yes. I have done that throughout my life many
Mm.
times.
Many times I have as well. So one of the reasons for me is fear. It's doubting, it's concern about what other people are going to say about my yes, so I say no. You know, it really comes down for me to fear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and sometimes it's just the unfamiliar. It's like, well, I never done that before. So I'll say no. But I know it's my yes, but I'm gonna say no because it's just so unfamiliar, uncomfortable, scary, all the things. It makes me think of Brene Brown. Brene Brown.
Right, right,
When she first started her podcast, she tells the story of how much fear she had about it, but she knew this was for her to do. She knew this was her next thing to do on her path. And so she came up with this acronym. She called it FFF, first freaking FFT, first freaking time. And she didn't say freaking, she used another F word, but we're gonna say first first freaking time, right? And then all of the things that you would expect to experience when you do something for the first time. And one of the things is fear. You might feel anxious. You might feel excited. You might have questions about your ability. All of these things are just the criteria that comes along with saying yes to something that used to be a no,
hmm
because it could be something that was a no and now it's evolved into your yes.
hmm
So I always keep that in mind. Like if I'm getting ready to do something new and I feel really nervous about it, I say, you know what, this is just a FFT. It's
Yeah,
normal for me to feel this way.
right,
I've never
right,
done this before.
right,
And it's my yes. So it's gonna be okay.
right. Yeah, yeah. Well, I loved how you brought up, the comfort zone. It might not be in my comfort zone, so I'll say no to my yes because it's not in my comfort zone. But you
Mhm.
know how it is. That yes will keep tapping, and will keep
Oh,
knocking, right? And then it's like, well, how comfortable is that zone now? How
right.
comfortable is that comfort zone when that yes is going, hey, your yes, your purpose, your vision is tapping and knocking, and sometimes yelling.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it's interesting.
Absolutely.
It is so interesting. I love being humanly divine and divinely human because we are all here on purpose for a purpose. And when we don't tap into it or ignore it, let me use that. When we ignore it, like I like I've done in the past for years, life will start to look really crazy. And the body might get sick, relationships crumble, things just go crazy. Finances aren't flowing the
Mhm.
way they should, and you have skills and talents to bring that in.
Yes.
But saying no to your yes, spirit will not, your purpose will not be denied.
Nope.
Now you can deny it, but that doesn't feel good, right? Yeah,
No.
no,
And
that doesn't. Go ahead.
mhm. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that does not feel good, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it makes me think about, like, I'm just having this experience right now of a flood of memories of things that I've said no, that I knew were a aspect of my yes,
Yes,
and feeling so uncomfortable, so uncomfortable. And that feeling of being uncomfortable would stop me from stepping into whatever it was that I knew was mine to step into. And now I welcome the feeling of uncomfortable,
yeah.
right? Because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I feel uncomfortable. Oh,
Ooh, what's this
this is
about?
gonna be good.
Yeah, yeah. It is just some good stuff, man. Some
Yes,
really good stuff.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
feeling uncomfortable. Like, ooh, what is this? Okay, what's this about? So
Yeah.
encouraging everyone, to to keep saying, yes. And also, I'm gonna put this up here real fast, and question, where are you saying no to your yes?
Hmm.
I want to invite people, to really stop and think about this, and what your yes is. It's that vibration, it's that excitement. You have an idea of wanting to do something, play music, write a book. That was a quick hint for you. Um,
Who are you
um,
talking to?
I know, talking to your cat, um, or whatever it is, and what are the excuses? Or let me use me. What are the excuses that I may have made, to keep me from saying yes? Well, no, I don't have time for that, or no, nobody wants to hear this, or whatever that no is. But
Hmm.
really, to want to invite everyone to tap into and think about this. You have your purpose, you have your vision, you have your dream, you have your desire that you want to express, but you're not doing it. Where are you saying no to your yes?
Yes.
And
And
it's
yeah, that's
go
the
ahead.
thing. That's the thing. This the aspects of doing and being. And when we talk about our purpose, I like to think about it as um Eckhart Tolle talks about this in his book A New Earth,
Oh,
about
great book.
how the inner purpose drives the outer purpose. The inner purpose is primary, the outer purpose is secondary. And the inner purpose is our being, the outer purpose is our doing. And for some, we have it flipped around. We think that what we're doing, it leads our purpose. Our purpose leads what we do.
That's right.
So we could be, and I could speak to this. I could let me testify.
Go ahead.
I could be very busy doing all sorts of things, and it has nothing to do with my purpose.
Right.
It's a way that avoid, I used to avoid my purpose because I just thought, I can't do that. I can't be my authentic self. You know, if I step into who I truly am, what does that mean to my relationships? Because I'm going to show up differently,
Right.
right? That's scared. That was scary to me,
Right.
right? So I would just stay busy, 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 busy to the point that I would just be exhausted
Right.
and wouldn't have the energy to do anything else.
Yeah.
And then I would use that as the excuse. But I'm so busy, I don't have time for my purpose. maybe when my girls go to college, maybe when all of the things that we could come up with. But what I could tell you, Eugene, our purpose will not be denied.
It will not be denied. You can play around here if you want to. Because that's what we said yes to.
Yes.
I can't remember who said this, but I think it's a great quote. The two greatest days of our lives is the day that we were born and the day we figure out why.
Mm. Mm.
Like, that's beautiful, right? Oh, I'm here for this.
Yes.
I'm here for this.
Yes.
Last year, I went back to work as an optician for whatever reason, and I was glad to go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, this is pretty similar to your story as well.
Mm-hmm.
And within 2 or 3 weeks, I'm like, no, this is not what I'm supposed to be. This is not why I'm here. And I am a great optician. Do it
Mm-hmm.
well. I'd been an optician for 16 plus years. Do it well. But within 2 or 3 weeks, the first week I'm like, yes, I'm doing this. Man, week 3, I'm like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. This doesn't work. It took me another nine months to say, you know what? This job is getting in the way of my work.
Say that again, Eugene.
This job is getting in the way of my work.
Yeah. Yeah.
My work is my purpose.
Yeah.
So and I guess that was a very concrete way of me saying no to my yes.
Yeah.
I think you spoke about this the last time, where it was about the consistent check, right? The money that comes in, and I can depend on this. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay, all of that is good, but do I really trust my yes? Do I really trust my yes? Do I really trust why I am here? And one of the things I learned or heard, so I love this, that purpose is also connected to vision, right? What's your vision? And what I learned is that your vision, with a vision, how can I put this? With vision, there's always provision.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
So as I continue, as soon as I left that job at the end of last year, things begin to pop. I'm like, okay, alrighty, okay. And here we are with Eugene Holden's Academy of Self-Mastery. And that's just one of the things, right?
Yes.
I have to name drop real fast. I just recently became Ricky Byers' percussionist. Now, Ricky and we've known each other for a long time, and we just did this retreat just this past weekend. And out of that, I'm like, Ricky, I am your percussionist. He says, yeah, you are. Golly. But it's because that's a part of my yes.
Yes.
That's a part of my purpose. It's not so much about playing the music. The music is the instrument to touch the lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
My purpose for being here is to enlighten folks, to encourage folks, to inspire folks. That's my purpose, man. That's my vision. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And think about it. If you were still at that job,
right.
You can't be at 2 places at one time.
Right.
Yet. Right?
Right. Come home from the job, be too tired to work on stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now I'm not telling people that just to leave your to
Right.
leave your job. Please don't.
Right.
We are not saying that.
No.
However,
No. However, when you align, I believe for me, when I aligned with my purpose and I really trusted and I trust God, and I believe that God is my source, and it just wasn't something I was saying as an affirmation. Like I really believed it. Everything starts to shift. They say your gift makes space for you, your gift makes room for you, your purpose makes room for you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's this opening.
Right.
And then it becomes clear this does not belong in this opening.
Right.
It's taking up space, and it's not on the same vibration. It's not aligned. I know this does not belong to me. This belongs to someone else's. Maybe this is part of someone else's
Right.
purpose, but it's not mine. It's
Right.
not mine. So we can return it.
Right.
We can
Yeah.
return it. And that's what we get to choose for ourselves. We don't
Yeah.
have to suffer through this.
Right.
We don't have to suffer through it. Just take a step. Just take a step.
Right.
If like Eugene, like you said, we're not telling anybody to quit your job,
Right.
but we are inviting you to take a step that is in alignment with your purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the other thing around that, right? Maybe the job that you're working in is a part of your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
right? And all of that's cool, right? Yeah, yeah.
And I love that you said that, because it was a part of my purpose. That job, the last 2 jobs I had, one had me crying in the parking lot,
Mm.
and the second one I lasted for 3 weeks, and was the most money that I ever got from a job,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was those 2 experiences back to back
Mm.
where I was just so miserable. My purpose could not be denied. It was kind of like, what else do you need
What else do you need?
for us to show you, us meaning the universe, to show you that one, we got you.
We got you.
Step out
Ooh.
on faith, do your work, your real work, the work that you said yes to. And everything will start to unfold. But
Yeah.
I had to do something different.
Yeah.
And for me, that different was leaving
Yeah.
and doing more of the things that I love.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple of things that you said, and I have to take notes so I can keep up, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, when for me, saying no to my yes, and one of the words that you just brought up, I would say no to my yes because I didn't trust.
Mm-hmm.
And trust is so important.
Yes.
Let me trust that I am guided, because we didn't come here to suffer or merely survive.
That's right.
No, that's not why we're here, right? And the other thing you said, which is very dear to my heart, and it was having to do with affirmations. And as you know, I've been writing the affirmations for the Science of Mind magazine for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
So affirmations are very dear to my heart. But it's not just, you just don't say the affirmation. You want to embody whatever that affirmation is, right?
Yes.
Where it becomes a way of life.
Yes.
One of my affirmations that I've had forever is, I am the joy of God. I live that. That's who I am, dang nabbit.
Yes.
So that feeling tone, right? It's like, trust. But again, going back to how and where do I say no to my yes?
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of, or this or that. And it all does come down to fear that I might not make it, fear of being judged, whatever it is, right? But all of that is not real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We are always, always, always supported. Always.
Yeah, and fear that I might make it, and then what will my life look like?
Right.
That part too.
Yeah. I had to kick back in my chair on that one because that's huge. Because my life will change.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose some of the friends that I thought, that I was going to have around me for a long time, but they're not vibing, which is okay. Everybody is on their own path. And there may not be vibrating at the frequency that I have to be at to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. Still, I still love them unconditionally. And
Absolutely.
I got to go this way.
Yes, I have to
Yeah,
go. I have to go in this direction,
right. Have to.
and all of the no's that are required for me to go in that direction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because saying no also supports our yes.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. No is just as powerful and just as sacred as the sacred yes.
Yes. Yes.
And it's okay to say no
Yes.
because it doesn't work. You know, in that same book, A New Earth. One
Mm-hmm.
of the things that I got from that, which was a great thing, is coming up and filling into that doesn't work for me,
Mm.
right? And it's like I say, let's for example that you're in a relationship that's just not working. It's not like, okay, well, you're wrong and I'm right, or you're right and I'm wrong. It's like, no, it's just not working. And what I love about that is because then I get to ask, okay, so how can we make this work for both of us? And
Mm.
if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. What I love about that mainly is that it takes away the judgment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No one's wrong in this.
Right, right. We don't have to make anyone wrong for us to be right. Everybody can be right.
Mm-hmm.
What's right for you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, what I love about self mastery with the small s, right? And we know our ego is running the show when we are in that place of making someone wrong.
yeah,
When I'm in that place of I'm right,
yeah.
that is ego driving the car, right?
Right. That little 2-year-old
Yes.
driving the car.
Yes.
Yeah,
And like, where are you going? Where are you driving to?
right.
Turn it around, girl. Turn it around.
In fact, get out of the driver's seat. You're
Pull
too small
over.
to pull over and let somebody. You're not doing a great job. I love you, but that's not your place.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
good stuff, man.
And he talks, I didn't even know we was gonna be talking about a new earth as much as we are today, but I guess it's up for us. He talks that I mean, probably the first half of the book is all about the ego
Yeah,
and how we can recognize the ego and what the ego needs.
yeah,
Like why is even there? Why it is a part of our makeup. And I just love I'm much better now at having the awareness that my ego is leading me. I'm much more aware of that now. I catch it more
yeah,
and can have a inner dialogue with my ego, the higher self and the smaller s self. I can have a dialogue
right.
about like what's happening here.
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
always has information that we can
yeah.
use.
Right, right. It's interesting the need to be right. I have to write
Mhm,
that down.
mm,
Um, because that was me. I know everything, right? Yeah, right. Don't research a darn thing. And there was a time where I, and I love this process that I had to go through. Because I don't like everybody else, I guess. I don't like being wrong. And I would say something else and realize that was not right. And I didn't like the way that the ego was crushed. What do you mean I'm not right? But what that did, though, is like it made me, when I would hear something, I wouldn't say anything. Let me go and research it first,
mm, mm.
right? Just to make sure. I would reference and cross-reference, like, oh, okay. And it may not have that conversation again, but it made me dive into it. Okay, well, let me check it out because I can't believe everything folks say.
Mm, mm. So you was making a case.
Right? Well, the evidence shows that that's not right. But I was doing that basically for me, right? Because
Hmm.
I remember the first time where I was shown that I was wrong. That didn't feel good at all. So I kept my mouth shut.
Mm,
So let me research what was said.
mm,
And I wouldn't need to go back. It's like, okay, Holden, you were wrong on that one. Okay. So
yeah.
now, and that's why I research and study the way that I do, because that ego part is still there. Don't like being wrong.
Mm, mhm, mhm,
But
mhm.
now it's like, okay, but let me research it, and because it's a part of my yes.
Yes.
I don't know how yet.
Mhm.
No, it is. Um,
Yes.
yeah, the need to be right, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That saying, what's that popular saying? Do you want to be right or happy?
right.
Do you want I'll be like, I want to be right because that will make me happy.
Would you rather be right or rather be happy? I would be right because that would make me happy. But what if you're wrong? But hey, we're not going there. Yeah. But another thing I say is like I'm always right. I might be mistaken, but I'm always right.
We are so clever.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah. It was my dear sons who said, "No, Dad, you're wrong." No, I'm mistaken. No, you're wrong.
And that's okay.
Right, exactly. We just laughed about it. Yeah, it's
Because we
good stuff.
learn, we
Yeah,
learn.
yeah, yeah. I tell you, man. So that's what we're talking about, right? And in this learning, we are connecting. Connect to your yes.
Yes. And make
What
sure
is
it's your yes, not someone else's.
right. Now, I don't remember if we talked about this before going here, um, but you were speaking about someone else's path. See, I
Yes.
don't know if
Yes. I
we
was
were.
sharing.
Yeah, please. And if
Um,
and if we did record it, well, okay, great. It's worth saying again. But you were
okay.
sharing.
I was sharing. This is from Joseph Campbell's
Ah,
book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces. And he wrote in the book, if the path before you is clear, you're probably on someone else's path.
mm,
If you can see your path laid out in front of you step by step, you know it's not your path. Your own path you make with every step you take. That's why it's your path.
yeah,
I love that. You make
yeah,
your own path
yeah,
with every step you take.
yeah, yeah,
And that can be scary.
yeah, yeah. Because it's uncharted territory,
Yes, yes,
but it's
yes.
your territory.
It's your territory to walk,
Yeah,
to explore.
yeah, 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 yeah. Being our own guru,
Mm,
being our own master,
mm.
being our own teacher. Now, that's not to say that we shouldn't go out and find masters and teachers, but we have to remember that they're there to guide us to our own path.
Yes,
Then we can let them go.
yes, yes.
When I first began seeing clients as a practitioner, there was this one client I had many years ago, and I said to her that it is my intention to get you to the point where you don't need to come see me.
Mm, mhm.
Melissa, do you know she did not like that? She didn't like that at all. It was a couple of years after where she came back to me and goes, I understand now.
Yeah,
So you don't, I no, do not, I'm not a crutch.
yeah.
I'm just here to help you to find your own way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And pretty darn good at doing that.
But it makes me, we're both parents. It makes me think about um, sometimes the pressure that parents could place on their children
Yeah,
as they grow to be on a, a certain path that they believe is their path,
right,
you know? And oftentimes that is met with great resistance
right,
and
right,
resentment,
right.
you know? And so I as being a mother of twins, I was so grateful that I knew that I had grown to learn to know that and to, you know, support them in whatever path they chose for themselves.
Yeah,
Because remember, they already said yes.
right,
That's why they're here.
right,
So they didn't say yes not knowing. They
right,
know. They know their purpose.
right,
And I'm just here to support them in remembering,
r-
recovering, rediscovering, you know,
right.
all the things on their journey. But
Yeah,
our children, don't place your children on your path.
right, right,
It's your path.
right.
They have their own.
They have their own.
They have their own. They
You know,
have it. Mm-hmm.
I don't think it happens much now. I mean, I really don't know. But back in the day, or people, well, you're going to take over the family business, or you're going to become
Mm,
a whatever. You're going to take over being the head of the bakery that's been in the family forever,
mm-hmm.
or you're going to
Mm-hmm.
be a lawyer because everybody was a lawyer, or a police,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. But maybe that's not my path.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't believe that happens as much now. Yeah. But
I don't know, Eugene. I don't know. You know, in some cultures, it's probably more prevalent
true.
than in others. Like this is this is the path, this is the family path. And
Right.
everyone as a part of this family, this is the path that you're gonna be on. And if you're not, you ain't part of this family. Like it could get to that extent,
That's
you
deep.
know? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. Being a parent taught me really, really soon, very quickly, to be okay with not knowing. Because kids
Mm.
will ask questions. Why is this? I don't know. Let's go figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was really, really good to be comfortable, to start getting comfortable saying, I don't know. Heck if I know. And as I got more comfortable, I'm like, hey, I don't know. Let's go and have fun trying to figure this out.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
explore together.
Let's
Yeah.
explore together, because you're helping me to connect to my yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think it's also teaching our children that it's okay not to know.
Right.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You can
It,
find out.
wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
You had said something earlier that brought this to mind. That all of us are a representative of
Mm.
the divine, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes I'll find myself saying in prayer that we are a representative of the divine, because the divine represents itself as us,
Mm. Mm.
right? That,
Mm.
again, it said yes. I mean, that's what we said yes to.
Yes.
Right? To represent whatever we are here to be. So connect with your yes.
Yes.
And here's the thing that I know, Melissa, that yes, all of us are here to be great, grand, and glorious.
Mm.
That doesn't necessarily mean that we have to lead the parade.
Mhm.
Maybe it's my path to help support that, to move forward.
Mhm.
Whatever the path is, whatever your path is, say yes to
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
And trust it.
Trust it.
Trust. I think this is just my opinion. I think a lot of the chaos that happens in this world is people who are not trusting their true divine purpose
Yeah.
and are living in opposition to it.
Yeah. 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 Trust. So here's a question for you, Rev. What would you tell somebody who asks, well, how do I trust? How do I develop trust?
My favorite word, one of my favorite words is practice.
Hmm.
Practice. So, practice being in conversation with the part of yourself that doesn't trust, because all the answers are already within us. I
Yeah.
truly believe that.
Yeah.
And we could have a dialogue with all aspects of who we are. So the part that doesn't trust, the smaller s self, can have a dialogue with the higher self,
Yeah.
and discover what's at the root of that. I would say, I would ask, what are some of your spiritual practices? How do you ground yourself? How do you root yourself in who you are, which is a representative of the divine? How does that show up in a way that it strengthens you and strengthens your faith and your trust? The other day, the other morning, one of the things that I do, and I might tell the person to do this as well, I set bedtime intentions. And sometimes my bedtime intention might be, when I wake up in the morning, God, give me a word, give me a message. What is it for me to know? So that was the other day. I set that bedtime intention. When I wake up in the morning, what is it for me to know? Right? So I wake up next morning, and it's in between that fully awake and kind of still sleepy, in that in between, that delicious space. And what was there for me was, have faith, have the faith of a mustard seed,
Mm.
and the willingness of a sunflower seed.
Mm. Mm.
Shine your light. Shine your light. And so then I wake up, fully awake. I said, oh, I have to capture that, right? So I always have my journal by the side of my bed, because I oftentimes get messages in that space of not fully awake and still sleeping. So I wrote it down, and I said, and so I repeat that to myself every day this week. Have the faith of a mustard seed, have the willingness of a sunflower seed, and shine my light. Shine my light, shine my light. And I trust that. But it comes with practice. It comes with relationship with your higher self, your higher power, whatever it is that you want to call it. So if you want to build trust, you build it like you would build any other thing,
Right.
right? You want to learn how to play the piano, you practice, right? You learn the basics. Start small. Don't overwhelm yourself. You're not going to wake up tomorrow, more than likely, and all of a sudden you're Beethoven. You're not. Beethoven had his path, and you have yours. So I think that's what I would give them, guidance, to trust their inner guidance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, practice makes progress. That's what I say all the
All
time.
the time. Yep. Practice makes progress. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice,
Practice,
practice.
practice,
Yeah.
practice.
So practice trusting, and it's been my experience over the years that some individuals have a hard time trusting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Mm-hmm.
practice trusting self. Oh, but Eugene, you don't know what I've done. Okay, you're right. I don't.
Hmm.
But the key is what you've done. So that's gone.
Right.
You can start today to trust yourself.
Yes. And I often, when I'm working with people, I one of the books, one of my go-to books is The Four Agreements.
Mm.
And the first agreement is be impeccable with your word.
Ooh, boy.
Be impeccable with your word because it builds trust with
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
If you keep saying to yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be that, and then you don't,
Right.
it is it's causing a divide
Yeah.
within yourself. It causes a disconnect. I don't believe you.
Right.
I don't believe that you're going to take care of me.
Right. Right. And that is so subtly huge. It
Mhm.
amazes me how many times I've seen people not be impeccable with their word in the smallest things. Okay, Eugene, I'll meet you at 5 o'clock. 5:25 comes in, they're showing up. I'm like,
Mhm.
but you said 5. You've given me your word.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
And it's amazing to me now. As petty as that may sound, it's not.
It's
That's out
mm-mm.
of integrity.
It's out of integrity. And at a deeper level, you might ask that person, in what ways do you not show up for yourself?
Come on now.
Because
Yeah,
it's a reflection.
it is. It is. Where else might I not be keeping my word?
Yes.
Where else am I not showing up for myself?
Yes.
And they,
Yes.
it's fluffing off. No, no, no. And again, practice makes progress.
Yes. So practice trusting yourself. Practice
Practice
having
trusting.
faith.
Yeah.
All the things practice.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
all things practice.
In all things, practice. Yeah. Yeah. Rev, yes, we can talk forever,
Yes,
but I think
yes.
we want to cut this one. I was going to say short. It's been 51 minutes. I want to just,
So
I tell you, man, I want to thank everybody who continues to tune in to Eugene Holden's Academy of Self Mastery.
yes, yes,
It is a great time for not just myself and Rev Melissa, but for everyone who tunes in and supports.
yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely. So Eugene, can I end with this quote?
absolutely.
It's part of the same quote that I shared from The Hero with a Thousand Voices. Most people are familiar with Joseph Campbell saying, follow your bliss. I say, follow your bliss and don't be afraid. And the doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be.
Mm.
If you follow your bliss, doors will open for you that would not have opened for anyone else.
Wow,
The door
wow.
is for you. Your
Yeah,
path is for
it's for you,
you.
for you.
Yes.
Trust that.
Trust that.
Yeah.
Amen.
Whew. All right, Rev. All right. So stay tuned. We are here every Friday.
Yes.
So we'll see you next week.
All
And be
right.
a friend, tell a friend, show a friend, bring a friend. Peace and blessings, everyone.
Peace and blessings. Connect to your yes.